Hello, down to the wire today, but we're ready. Tonight I have a plan with lots of pillows and blankets. So if you have pillows, blankets, or towels, you're going to want those. All right, so I'm typing in that we're going to use pillows, blankets, and towels. But of course, no worries if you don't have them. We can always make do. Oh, I do like to have my clock at hand. I show, okay, good. Okay. Cats are optional. I can see 2 of mine here, and there are 2 others running around. Let's see what we've got. I'm really looking forward to tonight's practice with you. Let's see. We only have 4 major shapes we're going to take, but we're going to explore them a little bit as we go. Okay, well, we've reached 7:30. Welcome to Operation Remote Resilience. My name is Jennifer Dietz, and I'm a Certified Warriors at Ease teacher. I'm really privileged to be here tonight to practice with you for 30 minutes with restorative yoga. So tonight I've planned something that takes advantage of bolsters of some kind. So you can use blankets, pillows, towels, sleeping bags, anything you've got that provides a little bit of support and cushion. So with that in mind, I'm going to go to the mat and join you there in a seated position as we begin our practice tonight. All right, so if you will, let's begin by sitting comfortably, either with your legs folded, crossed, or out in front of you, or even up on your knees. So any of these is a perfectly fine way to begin tonight's practice. We're just going to move our spine a little bit, and then we're going to spend time in some nice long postures to help us ease into relaxation, or actually to generate energy for whatever lies ahead. So from your seated position, the first thing we'll do is place your hands on your knees and draw the front of your shoulders toward your hips while you press your back out behind you for a seated cat posture. And then as you inhale forward, leading with your heart, letting the backs of your shoulders go toward the back of your hips, making your back into a C shape, so seated cow posture. And you'll move back and forth through cat and cow, just to find where the day's effort has been hanging out and let it go. I should have mentioned that my space is pretty well contained. I mean, I've got cats running around, but do check around your space so that you can draw your attention into your practice and away from what's around. So just be comfortable where you are. So this is our seated cat-cow. Notice I'm rocking back and forward, really trying to open the spine, front and back. Right, and when you come through neutral next time, pause for a moment and just feel yourself tall in your seat. You're in contact with the earth below you, either through your mat and the floor and your foundation, or maybe you're outside and you really are right on the earth. And from that strong base, your spine is straight, your shoulders are over your hips, your ears are over your shoulders, and the crown of your head is reaching up to the ceiling. Nice strong back. And as you lengthen naturally, everything wants to support, and so you feel that sturdy tension and strengthening in your core. Depending on the length of your torso and your arms might be straight, or like mine, quite bent. And you know what? Both are correct. And notice how this sturdy, upright posture allows you a lot of room for breathing. Now release your hands from your knees. Place your right hand by your right hip and reach your left hand high. We're going to curve over to the right side, keeping the left hip rooted down. So you'll stretch all the way from your left pinky to your left hip, really bending over and finding length on that whole left side. And then with your next inhale, reach long and pull your left hand to the left hip, reaching your right hand up and over. And now reach to the left, stretching from your right pinky all the way to your right hip. Really lean into this fold to the extent that your spine needs to open up on the right side. You might feel opening under your elbow and under your arm and all along your rib cage. Now reach up again with your breath and bring your hand down by your side. Again, find center, notice your breath. Bring your hands wide up overhead so that they face each other. Your biceps are by your ears, your palms are facing each other, and your fingers are strong. Turn your body to the right, and when you've reached as far as your body will turn, release your right hand to your right hip, your left hand to your knee, and with your next inhale, rise up in your seat and release into your twist. The chin follows, it does not lead. And no prizes for more or less twistiness. With your next inhale, bring your hands back through center. Reach up long, biceps by your ears, palms facing each other, and twist to the left. When you've reached as far as you can go to the left, let your left hand down behind your left hip, your right hand to your knee. Rise up with your inhale, and with your exhale, release into your twist. And just let this motion wring out any tension you've been holding through the day. With your next inhale, bring your hands back through center and then let them come to rest. You can move through your shoulders, forward and back, and there. So now, if you will, please join me in a tabletop position. And if you have pillows, blankets, bolsters of any kind, you can stack them up in front of you. So I have stacked 2 pillows and 3 folded towels. And what I'm going to do now is bring my knees to the width of my mat and bring this stacked platform of support between my knees. I'm going to lean forward and fold over this stacked support, turning my cheek. So this is our supported child's pose, our first restorative posture. We'll spend half of our time with our right cheek on the mat or the bolster, and the other time with the left cheek. And if you're practicing with us tonight and you don't have any bolsters, child's pose all by itself is a wonderfully restorative posture. For a little bit of elevation pose. As you settle into the different postures we take, notice where you might be holding on to tension and notice your breath. So for example, if you're propped up on your elbows, maybe you can send them a little bit wide so that you release tension from your elbows and your shoulders. Maybe you can ease your chest down a little bit farther onto your support, taking tension off of your hips and low back. The idea of these shapes is to really allow yourself to be supported so that you get the benefit of being in them without working. And now it's time to turn your head to face the other direction, the left cheek. I'm going to turn around completely so I don't turn my back to you. But we're in the same shape. We just have our left cheek down. This is a supported child's pose. And as you rest here, you might notice the breath moving in and out. And you might feel the way your rib cage makes room for your inhale and the way all of your muscles tighten up for the exhale. Now, if you are propped up on a bolster, bring your hands back under your shoulders and press up. And remove your support for now. We're going to do threading the needle shape, which doesn't require a bolster. So let's return to tabletop position with your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. And the first thing you'll do is release your right hand and spiral open toward the ceiling. And whatever the extent of your reach is correct. And now we'll send the right hand through the space created on the left lowering the right shoulder, the right cheek, and stretching the hand long. I'll turn this way so that we're all facing the same direction. So your hips are high, your shoulder is on the mat, your cheek is on the mat, and your hand is reaching long in front of you. Now, one way to make this a little more restful is to release the tension on your left hand and ease your hips back over your ankles like on child's pose. So now we're in our shoulder opening, thread the needle, and our hips are low so that we're not having any effort in our upper legs. And when we ease into this shape and we relax, gravity works on us and we can feel the gentle opening across our shoulders and in our hips. Probably low back as well. Bring your left hand up under your shoulder and press in as you rise up on your knees and return to a tabletop position. Now we'll release the left hand and spiral it open, send it to the right, and lower down for threading the needle. Keep hips high at first. And then when you're settled, you can press back with your right hand, lower your hips, and relax into your child's pose with your legs and thread the needle with your arms. The sides might feel different. Our bodies are not perfectly symmetrical, so it's not unusual for one side to have a different sensation when we do the activity one side and then the other. Let's bring the right hand back under the shoulder, press up, and return to tabletop position. Time goes by so quickly. All right, so now if you can and you want to experiment with this, you can cross your legs and roll back into a seated position. Otherwise, you can get there any way you choose. Excuse me. The first thing we'll do is place the soles of our feet on the mat. Have a 90-degree bend in your knees, 90-degree in your hips. So you might want to rock back on your hips, holding on to your knees, holding on behind your legs, or having your hands stretched out in front. And here we'll just hold for a minute for a little bit of active engagement before we move into some more relaxing postures. And if you'd like a little bit of a challenge, you can lower down on a slow count. And if you want to, you can hold on to your legs. No big deal either way. Just lower down slowly to the mat. We'll do 2 bridge postures before we do our next relaxation. So press into your feet, press into your hands, press into your shoulders, and lift your hips up off the floor for your first bridge posture. You might even walk your shoulders toward each other. With your next inhale, see if you can rise up a little higher and then lower down from your neck to your hips. All right, let's press into feet, press into hands, press into shoulders, and rise up for a bridge posture. And then lower down. You can come to a seated position, and if you have a towel or blanket that you can roll into a barrel like this and place it lengthwise on your mat so that when you go to lie down, it's right at your tailbone. And as you lean back gently onto your rolled up towel or blanket, you can open your hands to the side. So mine's a little short. I'm going to add another towel under my head. So the rolled up towel is completely along the length of my spine. And I'm going to open my arms wide and stay here for a few minutes. Your hands can be straight out or cactus arms. And this is allowing the front of your chest to open. So notice where you might be holding any tension. The front of your shoulders, your abdomen, your neck. And any place you notice tension, take a breath. And with awareness, let it relax. Threading the needle and this posture are both really great ways to counteract the effects of modern life, where we do a lot of sitting, a lot of driving, a lot of hunched over computer work. So this offers some wonderful opening on the front and back of our upper body. I noticed that I drew my knees up, so my feet are wide on my mat, my knees are dropped together. You might like to try that as well. Your legs can be straight down the mat. Both are acceptable options. This is one of my favorite postures. I can hang out here all day, but we've got other things to do. So if your legs are wide, draw your feet together. And if your legs are extended, go ahead and fold them. And then gently roll to one side or the other, supporting yourself with your arm as you come off of the roll. And once you reach that side, pause with your legs stacked, your knees bent, your head on your hand, on your arm, your front arm supporting your upper body. And pause here. Now pressing into your front hand will actually reach behind you and move your supports. And then you can actually roll right back onto your mat in preparation for our final relaxation. If you would like to, you can get close to a wall and bring your hips close to the wall and then send your legs up, bringing your feet flat and the rest of your body, perpendicular to the wall, arms outstretched. So if you'd like to take your final relaxation with your legs up the wall tonight, that's a great option. Otherwise, you can take a more traditional posture, which is on your back, either with your knees touching in support of your low back or with your legs long. So if you'd like to experiment with all of those for a minute before you settle in, feel free to. And then once you have found your comfortable posture for really settling in for a nice long period of relaxation, you can let your eyes close. And I'm going to take a seat as I talk you through a short body scan and then a last few minutes of silent meditation. So whatever posture you have found yourself in, notice the ways you're supported on the surface below you. Notice the points of contact you have with your feet, your legs, your hips, your shoulders, your arms, and your head. So all of these parts of your body are supported by the surface below you. So you have no need to work in your joints to support that. So as we go head to toe, let's check in and make sure that you're not holding any tension in your neck. You might want to wiggle it left and right, up and down. And as you notice your shoulders, release the front and the back of your shoulders, the inside of your elbows, and the center of your palm. And then as you notice your rib cage, the space between your ribs, let that be soft. Let the front of your hips and let behind your knees and inside your arch, let all of those places be soft. So you're supported and at ease. And in these final minutes, you can just tune into your breath and let the work you've done settle in. We have reached the final minute of our practice, so please take your time as you either return to your day's activities, or if you have the luxury of staying put and extending your relaxation period, please do. But if you do need to get about your day, this is a good time to deepen your breath and to bring your awareness back to your surroundings, noticing the sounds, bringing some movement into your hands and feet, and pressing through that side lying position again on your way to seated. And when you have finished your practice, I would like to thank you for joining me. Again, my name is Jennifer Dietz. This is Operation Remote Resilience. It is my privilege to be here to practice with you. If you'd like to support the work we do, please follow the link below, and you can help people like me continue to serve those who serve. And if you happen to be an active duty service member, we certainly thank you. And if you're a veteran like myself or a family member, thank you too. And we're just grateful for having the opportunity to spend this time with you. Take care. Thank you, Jacqueline. So glad to have you practicing tonight. I think you can check this on the Warriors at Ease webpage and add it to your collection. I love it too. I wear it on Fridays for sure because it's red. Well, I'm going to sign off. Thank you. In health, resilience, and connection.